Hello, this is FIDE Master Harold Wanyama from Uganda. I as well act as the national coach of Team Uganda. I am a multi-Olympian and I love chess. I've played chess for a couple of years. Right now, I think maybe it would be 28 years of chess playing. I'm based in Africa, specifically Uganda. And the point of this video basically that I'm going to showcase is basically how to handle a grandmaster. Okay. So this was my game against Amin Bassem. Amin started with e4. Let's go e4. I played c5, which is an exciting defensive opening called the Sicilian. Usually Amin plays the King's Indian attack, Bassem. That's his setup. He went knight f3, then I played d6. So in this situation, I mostly actually go for the Paulsen stroke time and of defense with e6. This is the line I usually go for. But here I went with d6. D6 can transpose to the knight off, which is exciting, or it can transpose to openings with the bishop b5 check, which usually goes for solid openings. Carlsen has played this. Bassem played d3. Basically, he was going for the close setup, targeting the King's Indian attack. This bishop will have little room to maneuver here, this diagonal. So what that means is that they're going to fianchetto this bishop right here in this setup. That is the plan. And then generate some sort of attack on the king side. So there are a couple of ways that black can handle this this attack. So basically, I played g3. I think that is one of the main ways of handling it. g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, standard openings. Knight c6, castle, e6. I could have also gone knight f6. I wanted to go e6, probably maintain this diagonal. c3, knight g7, maintaining the diagonal. d4, c times d4, c times d4. So what does white want? What is white's plan? White's plan is actually to put pressure on the king side. He's going to go moves like h4, h5. He's going to go moves like e5. He's going to bring his knight over and then probably place it on g4, either via knight d2, knight f1, knight h2, knight g4. Generate an attack on the king side and see how it goes. Now, if you're not careful as black, it can end badly for you. So you have to act quickly and see how to strike at the center. Hence the move d5. I played e5, h6. I just don't want him to create pins. Now, what does this bring about for black? Black has dark squared weaknesses here and here. So I should not allow this knight to come and jump on c3, b5, and then jump on d6. That will be so bad for black. So black has to stop those ideas. Knight c3, I went g5. So here I didn't play the prophylactic move g3. I just wanted to go wild, I think. I don't know. It was now just me being wild with g4, g5, probably knight f5 ideas. Yeah. So after g4, yeah. So I'm going for the jugular here. Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes playing strong players means that if you sit back and just defend, like in maybe football, if you just soak and then you think that you're going to sit back and defend the entire game, you're going to be overwhelmed by the stronger side there. What does that mean? If you go wild, it means you have to have your calculation instincts on. I had here with g5. My opponent played h4, g4, knight h2, h5. So if let's say white goes with a move like a3, this will just be bad because black will just come with knight f5, and this weakness here on d is not good. This weakness here on the d pawn is not good. So now they may have to go passive with a move like knight e2. That won't be so good, because once they go passive, black can simply play queen b6, and bishop here f3 is just looking ugly. Black can either take this, weaken the structures, they open the file, and then take the b pawn after, or he can actually take the b pawn and then see his queen will be offside actually. So Bassem played f3. Now after this move, this is a strong move, because if black is to take, white is going to take, with the next move being knight g5, right? This move, you don't want this knight jump, because this pressure will just be so strong. It's the interesting knight f5. So after knight f5, my opponent Bassem just captured. Now here you can't just capture, because if you capture, either you'll activate with a knight or a queen, and then white will become activated. What does that mean? Black has no time for games right now. He is now in fight mode. This is battle mode. So I go knight times g3, attacking the rook on f7. At the same time, there's a pawn. White can capture more pawns. At the same time, there's this threat. There's this weakness on b4. So now this is an unbalanced game right now as we speak. Bassem played bishop g5, attacking the queen, but it brought my queen to a good square that I'd wanted in the first place. Queen b6. Now the threat on d4 is real. So what does he do? He defends that pawn. He'd rather lose his rook. Remember, this rook on f was hanging. This rook on f was hanging. So for example, if he moved here, white was just going to, black was just going to capture this, check, and the center would be busted. Play bishop e3, I captured the exchange, knight times f1, queen times f1, queen b2, everything is now falling for white. Bassem played knight b5, castle, because there's a weakness on c7 and d6, and he took on h5, and then this is the strongest piece that was chased. Played knight d6, and knight d6 was a mistake. It was a mistake because finally the center just collapses. Knight times d4, h6. It seems black is going to be mated, but he is not, because he has more material and he's just capturing the center. Bishop times h5, e5, knight g4, and that was a decisive mistake, because number one, this, first of all, even this knight is loose, but minus that, black had a deadly check on e2. So this one was now game over, because if the king goes on h1, there is a mighty fork here coming, and the game will be lost right after this match. Not forgetting that even the d6 knight is hanging. Black